Hey guys. So every week I give a partial class, and usually I just share little notes. This past week was different because I was speaking about something that was extremely powerful and transformational and very, very dear to my heart. And so I couldn't just sum it up in a few bullet points. So I just came back from a 3-day coaching retreat in Arizona, and the centerpiece of the trip was hiking up Camelback Mountain, which was a very hard climb, especially for someone like me. I'm not very physically athletic, and I work out, but not very often or extremely. And so it was hard. It was very hard. And the whole way up, we were asked to journal because this whole retreat was about personal and professional transformation. And we were asked to journal about what were the messages that we were getting as we were going up the mountain. And later, when I looked at my list of messages, every single one of them was about adversity, about what was hard, about why I couldn't do it, about what I did wrong, about what I needed to do the next time around, about the ways that I was going to get hurt. And I couldn't help but thinking this past week's Torah portion was all about Abraham and our founding father, and his life was absolutely identified by adversity. All the difficult things that happened to him. He didn't have any children for years and years. And he was asked to leave his homeland. And then he got to Israel and there was a famine. And then his wife was abducted. And then he finally had a son. And then he finally had another son. And then his son corrupted his other son. He had to choose between his sons. And then he had to circumcise himself in his son in his old age. And then he was asked to sacrifice his son. And on and on and on. And like any normal person would just say, why can't I catch a break? What is it about adversity? And how did Abraham become great when he lived a life of so much adversity? There's a rabbi who lives in Israel. His name is Rabbi Shimon Russell. And he says it this all the time. And it had deep and profound impact on me. He said, your problems are not in the way. Your problems are the way. And this is the secret to everything. Adversity is not the thing that is standing in the way of the person you need to be. Adversity is when you're climbing up the mountain and you need to find the most jagged rock to put your hand or foot on, because without it, you couldn't possibly propel yourself forward. If the mountain was a smooth sheet of rock, you could never get up and you could never get down. Yet we all crave this smoothness. That's what we want. The reason Abraham was great was because of his adversity, and because every time he experienced adversity, he didn't retreat into blame and victimization, but rather he asked himself, what does God want from me now? And when I was on this coaching retreat, one of the things we were asked to do was to think about a person that we admire, and what do we admire about them? And of course I thought about my dear grandmother. And when I really thought about what I admire about my grandmother, it was that she built a beautiful life of love from the ashes. She lived with her adversity. She overcame her adversity. That's what made her beautiful. Because of her, I felt seen, loved, adored, valuable. And we were asked to workshop about, like, what about this person do we want to bring into the universe? What quality? And I realized that such a big part of the reason why I'm so passionate about helping parents is because the adversity that I've experienced as a parent, which taught me literally all of the things I need to know. It was all those jagged rocks that propelled me up the mountain. My grandmother taught me that adversity can season you and make you beautiful. And adversity can season me and make me beautiful if I let it. It's not about the breaks. It's not where the growth happens. The growth happens in the pain. If you use it, if you say to yourself, what am I going to do with this now? What have I learned? What beauty can I bring into the world? What can I offer another human being because maybe I didn't get it? Or because maybe I did get it in my weakest and most vulnerable moment. If you choose that again and again and again, then your problems are not in the way, your problems are the way. That's how you propel yourself forward. We crave life, a life that doesn't have adversity, but that is not how we're going to become who we need to be. That's really the message of adversity. I understand the desire to catch a break. We all need to stop and catch our breath. But then we need to ask ourselves, what is the purpose of my pain? And what can I uniquely bring into the world that nobody else can bring into the world, precisely because of the adversity that I have uniquely experienced that nobody else has? And I have to say one more thing. If you are not regularly retreating from your life, taking a step back and asking yourself this powerful question, you're missing the point. If you don't stop and notice, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? How am I using my time? How am I using my pain? What am I bringing to the universe that nobody else can bring into the universe? You could literally live your whole life on the hamster wheel and never figure out what you're doing here. So if you haven't taken a break in a while and stopped and asked yourselves these questions, you need to take a pause and you need to pull the plug and you need to figure out, what is your problem? What is your way? What are you bringing to the world?